Hey Nuri fam, welcome into this full body Pilates sculpt class. For this workout, we're gonna work your body head to toe, but we are putting an extra emphasis on your core, the muscles of your upper body, and your inner thighs. So for this workout, of course, we need a mat. Everything will be done on the floor. We also need a ball to work those inner thighs, your abs. We need a set of light hand weights. Mine are 3 pounds. I would not suggest going any heavier than that. You might just regret it. And optional, a set of ankle weights. So once you have all of that, we're gonna get started on the floor. If you have ankle weights, let's put them on now. Slap these puppies on. These are my 2-pound ankle weights. You could definitely go a little heavier if you really wanted to. I don't have heavier ones, so I'm gonna stick to my 2 pounds, and I promise they're gonna be spicy enough. When you're ready, let's come up to kneeling. You're gonna take the ball and place it just between your thighs. It doesn't have to be too high or too low, wherever feels comfortable. Grab a hold of your hand weights, drop your shoulders up, back, and down, and feel that zip up of your core. Squeeze the glutes just a bit, and then reach your arms out straight ahead of you from your shoulders. We'll squeeze the ball, hinge back into your hips so the glutes hover right above the heels, bend the arms 90 degrees into an uppercut position, and then lift up out of the hips and lengthen your arms. That's our first move. We hinge it back and lower, press up and lift. The entire time through this sequence, we are squeezing the ball with at least 50% of our own effort. Find those inner thighs hugging in, lengthen out through the arms. Pull in tight, and stretch it out. You see how going any heavier than 3 pounds might get a little crazy. I'm already starting to feel this. I feel like I say that in every workout. Lengthen out, big lift. And lower down. You know me, we're getting right into the good stuff. No fluff here, getting down and dirty. We have 4, press and lift. Final 3, feel that zip up of the low belly, so really supporting that low spine. Final 2, and on our last one, we'll hold the hinge. Hold it down right here. Find that hover just above the heels, squeeze the ball, pump the arms up, little pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, final 4, last 3, 2, last 1. Lift all the way up, lengthen out the arms, and then press the palms together. Lift up, and then bend the elbows, and extend out. I'm gonna turn to the front so you can see I'm wrapping my elbows in tight, hugging the sides of my face. Lower down, and lift up, squeeze the ball. Feel that connection of the inner thighs to the low core, the pelvic floor. Everything should zip in and up to the midline of your body. All right, let's add on a bit. We're gonna hinge back as we bend the elbows. Same hinge as before. Lengthen out and lower. Big lift. Continue to breathe. Out of all the cues I give you, the most important one to always implement is that breath. 3 more. We lower and lift. Final 2, you got this. Last one, we're gonna hold our hinge, hold and stay, squeeze that ball for dear life. We pulse up with the arms for 8, 7, hug your elbows in tighter, drop the shoulders away from the ears. We have 4 halfway, 3, 2, last one, lengthen all the way up. Open the arms wide and lower down slow as you get taller for 3, for 2, and 1. All right, now if you're not already there, we're gonna pivot to face the side, hinge back in your hips, and then lower the weights down to frame your mat. Bring your hands down just underneath your shoulders, knees in tight so you feel a squeeze of the ball again. Pull up through the belly. One hand grabs that same side weight and you reach it out with a soft bend in your elbow. Now as we do this, I'll turn to the front so you can see. You wanna make sure you're not dumping into the supporting shoulder. You wanna push the ground away so we find some lift. From here, you're gonna squeeze the ball. Open the arm up, release that squeeze and lower down. Squeeze and lift. And lower. Now, if I were to come up and do the same exact thing in standing, you'll see that I'm hugging my shoulder in towards my spine and then allowing that shoulder to stretch away from the spine. I'll show you again. We squeeze in and release. Building so much strength for the back of that shoulder. Also so helpful if you work at a desk all day and you tend to slouch forward. It's normal, it's very human, but doing exercises like this is gonna help to improve the shoulder and spinal mobility and improve your posture. Let's take one more right here. Going into a 4-part move, we hold that arm up and pause. Open the arm up higher, try to spiral your chest up, up, up. It might feel a little stuck and stiff, that's okay. Bring it back down to hover, parallel to the floor, lock that in, and then just the arm lowers down. I know that was a doozy, let's try it again. So we lift up, open up through the chest, see how far you can go, lower halfway, and then bring just the arm down. As we do this, you're squeezing that ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze in. That's gonna help your hips stay in a fixed position. So again, we are not relying on the mobility of anything else in our spine. We're just isolating that mid to upper back, improving that spinal mobility, particularly of your thoracic spine. That's where you get the most mobility in your spine. That's where we really want to train from, so we don't get used to twisting the low back. The low back is not intended to twist. So try to lock in those hips and squeeze the ball. Woo, okay, we got one more right here. Last one, give it what you got. Lift that arm up. Peel open the chest, eyes up towards your hand. Bring it back down and hover right here. Squeeze the ball more, pump the arm up. Squeezing that shoulder into your back. We have 5, 4, 3, come on, last 2, give me one more, lower down, so slow with control. Set that weight down, bring that arm down. We're gonna switch sides right away again. Push the ground away, pull up through the core, other hand grabs opposite weight. Squeeze the ball, lift your arm up. Release that squeeze and lower the arm with control. Squeeze and lift, and lower. I like to try and exhale as I squeeze and lift, and then an inhale as I lengthen. That helps to mimic the contraction we should find in our core, eliciting more support for the spine. As we go into the toughest phase of the movement, that lift and squeeze, and then it helps elicit more elongation as we find a release. Squeeze and lift, and inhale to lower. Allow your breath to be audible here, don't be shy about it. I know it might feel a little weird to do that, especially if you're newer to this kind of training, but syncing with your breath is one of the best ways to incorporate your core as you train. 2 to go, and we go for that 4-part move. Final 2. And lower, last one, you hold it up with me. Hold it, keep that squeeze of the ball. Peel the shoulders back, open up, eyes look up. Lower down halfway, lock in that shape, arm parallel to floor, lower just the arm. I know. Bring it back up. Open up, up, up. Sometimes I do these and I'm like, who created this? It was in fact me, it was myself. I did this to us willingly. Lower it down. Woo, bring that down with control. But listen, it is always, always, always the things that you do not want to do that are typically the ones that you need to do the most, right? So even if your body, your mind, your soul is really resisting this movement, it's probably because you need it. 2 more. Lift it up. Press down through your bottom hand. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and try to lengthen the crown of your head out forward for miles. Last one right here. Open all the way up, up, up. Lower your arm halfway. Here's where we pulse it up, up. Squeeze the ball a little more. Get that support from the lower body. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down with control and then lower that hand down. Do me a favor, take the ball out from between your legs. Reach the ball forward, 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 and then allow that same side shoulder to drop down. Ear listens to the floor. Enjoy that stretch. And then lift it back up, square off your shoulders, roll the ball in, and then switch sides. Other hand's gonna roll out, lower down. Just allow gravity to do all that work. Opening up the lat, the obliques, the shoulder. Pull back up through center. and bring it back in. Okay, we're gonna take a seat now because we're not done. Swing your legs forward and then scoot up towards the top edge of your mat or a little bit more towards the middle. Take the ball, again, place it between your inner thighs and then grab a hold of your weights. Grab your thighs and then gently make your way onto your back. Elongate the spine and feel that hug in of your ribs. Reach your arms straight up to the ceiling, palms face towards each other. Lift the legs up. Squeeze the ball, knees float right over your hips. We bend our arms 90 degrees. Send the legs out long to 45. Reach the elbows back, 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 and then pull the elbows back in. Guide the legs in. Again, we press out. Arms never fully elongate. That would be a little bit too intense for the shoulders in this position. So try to maintain that bend of the elbows. Just slide them back. So you're taking the elbow from right over the shoulder to right by your temples. And then pulling the knees right over the hips, sending them out to 45 degrees. Bring it in. You have 2 more. Feeling that quiver, feeling that shake. I know I sure am. Last one, send it out. Big stretch. Pull all the way back in and hold. Lengthen your arms up and then turn your palms back and lower them down to hover just above the floor by your hips. Curl head, neck, and chest up. Squeeze the ball and then pull your knees in tight, tight, tight. We're gonna send the arms out just below the shoulders. Lengthen the legs out to 45 degrees. Pull the shoulders up higher as you hug the arms in. Guide the knees in tight. Send it out. Eyes look towards your thighs or towards the ball. Curl everything back in. If it's better for you today, you can lower your head down and maybe keep it down the entire time. That's definitely a great option. You're still gonna get such a good workout. Or you could lower it down and then curl it back up. I'll show you that again. Option to lower the head and then to lift it back up. Otherwise, you're gonna stay lifted. Send it out and pull in. Now, do not forget about that ball, my friends. It's still there and it's there for a reason. Squeeze it, ignite those inner thighs. 2 more. Last one. Send it out. Pull all the way back in. Lengthen your legs out to 45. Open up the arms. We squeeze the ball. Little pulse in, arms lift up. Up. Make sure your arms are a little bit lower than the shoulders so they're not up here. They're down a little bit more. Keep it going. We have 8. Can the legs get a little lower? 7. 6. Stretch your knee, shoulders higher if you're up. We have 4. Final 3. Final 2. Hold everything up on 1. Hold, 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 hold. Lift a little bit higher because you can. And then pull everything back in and lower it down. Take a moment, drop the weights down by your side, plant the hands down to the floor, roll up, take a big stretch of your hips. Roll down through the spine, notch by notch. Let's do that one more time because it feels too good not to. Press all the way up, rolling up, up, up. And then roll it down. One of my favorite things about Pilates is taking that stretch after all that hard work. Feels so good. All right, we're not done. We're not done. Don't get too excited. Lift up. We got one more sequence to go. You're gonna take the ball behind your back. So this is gonna go right where your bra strap is, few inches down. Lower down from that space. And then you can lower down to your forearms from here. Just be aware that we don't want to dump into the shoulders. Very tempting. Try to push the ground away from you. And if you need a little bit more of a lift, you can hold it up here, okay? Lower down, bring the legs in, and feel that pull in through the belly. So we're not sucking in and up, we're just compressing down, okay? Now, start to lengthen your leg up. Doesn't matter which, because we will switch it out. You're gonna rainbow that leg up and over towards the corner, and then lengthen up and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that leg in towards the other leg. So it's not as though both thighs are coming in. We're just taking this leg over to the other thigh, okay? Up and over. and up and in. Now, if you have sensitive hip flexors, or maybe they're just a little more on the weaker side, you haven't done a movement like this in a while, you can keep your leg a little lower. It can look more like this, all right? Especially too, if you are hyperextended in your knees, meaning your knees kind of push backwards towards the floor, or if you have any kind of knee injury, the higher you lift that leg, the more intense this will feel for the knee joint. So pace yourself, meet yourself where you're at, and scale it as you feel appropriate, okay? You know your body better than anyone else, and especially better than me. I'm just here to give you options, okay? It's up to you to take the one that works best for you. We got one more, okay? Hold it up, and then flex your foot, lower that leg down to hover just off the floor. You're gonna press it out wide, lift up through the chest, press, 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 and then hug all the way and squeeze that ankle. Press all the way out. Press that knee in towards your ankle. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. It's gonna work as hard as you do, okay? Squeeze, 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 and release. Press it out. 2 more. Lengthen out. Last one, holy hip flexor. Squeeze in and then lower down. Take a moment, drop the knees from left to right. And again, it's good to feel your hip flexor. Your hip flexors are muscles like anything else, so we wanna make sure that they're strong. Plant your feet flat, readjust your posture, feel that lift up and into the belly. We extend our leg out and we hit our second side by rainbowing up and over to the side, and then all the way up and in. Now, key here, as with anything that we do at Nuri, it's all about your control, how you're pacing yourself. That's where the strength really comes in. If you're just kind of like flinging that leg over, dropping it down, you're not really getting much out of it. I'll be so honest with you. You're not gonna get much out of it. You wanna find control. And if you cannot find control by doing exactly what I'm doing, then reduce your range of motion. That's always the first thing that you should do. Take it a little smaller. Like I said, you can keep it lower to the floor. And if it's easier for you to control there, but you're still feeling the work, then that's where you should be, okay? Lower down. Feel that scoop up and into the belly. Press down through the shoulders. Widen your chest. I almost like to imagine like there's a string at my sternum that's connected to it and someone's pulling it up and out, yeah? Okay, one more. All the way down with control, little tap. Bring it up, up, up. Flex your foot. Lower it down to hover just off the floor. Find that press out, wide, wide, wide. Feel the outer glute. And then press your leg into the opposite leg. Push it wide. Squeeze in. Few more. Final 2. Press all the way out. Squeeze all the way in. Last one. Press it in, and then lower it down. Again, drop the knees from left to right. Take a little reset in your hips. You need it after that. And then when you're ready, plant the feet flat. We got a little bit more to go. Drop the shoulders back. Feel that lift up of the belly. We're gonna pull one leg in towards our chest, other leg in towards our chest. Lengthen the legs out, flex your feet, lower them down to 45. And then lift it back up. Lower it down. Lower you go, harder this will be. Do not lose connection with the ball. Draw that belly button down towards the ball. Press down through the forearms. You got 2. Last one. Press, point your toes, pull the knees in. I'm shaking, press it out. Whoo, bring it in. We have 4. Final 3. Open that chest, final 2. I know it's tough. You're just as tough. Stay with it. Last one. Press it all the way out. Hold it right here. Little crisscross. Cross one leg over opposite ankle. We squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Quicker for 8, 7, 6. Little surprise coming in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Bend your knees. Plant your feet flat. Lift up. Flip around. You're gonna take the ball one last time between your inner thighs, plant your hands flat, tuck your toes, lengthen the knees up. Walk your feet in a little tighter. Wrap your heels into touch, almost like they're gonna kiss. Release the heels, lift up through the hips, bend the knees. We load it back, lengthen out, squeeze the heels in tight. Release the heels, lift and stretch. Press and open up through the front of the hips. Final 4. Exhale, wrap and lengthen into your plank. Final 3. Final 2. Last one, come on. Hold your plank, hold and stay. Final push, wrap your heels in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Stay with me. 4, last 3, 2, last one. Hold, release your heels, lift the hips up nice and slow. Hold that stretch. You, my friend, are out of the work. Let's roll it forward one more time. Gently lower your knees down, shift it back, remove the ball. You can also move your weights back just a little bit. We're gonna rock it forward in the hips. Gently shift forward, open the hip flexors, and then rock it back. Hips touch down towards the heels. Let's do that twice more. Shift it forward, open up the hips. Pull up and back through the belly. And last time, shift it forward. Take it back. And bring it back up. Do my favorite inner thigh stretch. Kick one leg out to the side, inside edge of your foot is on the floor. Walk your hands forward, rock your hips back. And then lift up halfway. Hip stacks over the knee. We'll do it twice more. Shift, big stretch. Melt your heart towards the floor. Lengthen back up, pressing into the palms. Last time. Whew. And bring it back up. Press into your hands. Pull that leg in. We'll switch sides right away. Kick the other leg out. Pull the hips back. Yawning open through the inner thighs, the pelvic floor. And bring it back up. Rock it back. And lift. And last time, my friends, take it all the way back. Bring it all the way up. Press into your hands, pull that leg in, come into a comfortable seat. Take a big breath in, arms lift up. And as we do, we'll seal the palms together, close out our class with a big exhale as the hands float down to heart center. Thank you so much for your time, your effort, your energy. I do not take it for granted. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you felt that one. I know I sure did. I was shaking through the whole thing. I will see you in the next workout, all right?